everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Layla and today I'm coming at you with an August reset and I am really happy about this. I have been binging these types of videos for a little bit and it just so happens to be the end of the month, so I'm really excited to just go ahead and get into this. So I'll just start first with July, like reviewing it, the things I did, some things that worked, maybe some things that didn't work. I don't think there were a whole lot of things that didn't work, to be completely honest, but we'll just get into it. So, events from July, there were a few. So first off, I finished all of my summer classes. I'm so happy about this because now I have an actual break until August 15th when my fall classes start. And I'm just really happy to have a break. I haven't had a break for like 2 years. Like since I've started college, I've been taking like non-stop classes. So I'm really happy about this break. The second event that happened was Youth X 2022. And if you don't know what Youth X is, I'm a part of Elevation Church. We have a lot of different buildings in different places and things like that, a lot of just different branches. But Youth X, like all of the kids could come together, and there were worship, there was a lot of good sermons, there was after parties for the kids that were amazing, and I just loved it. I got to go as a leader, so I led 4 high school girls, and leading them was amazing. And then all the high school girls from where we live got together and we talked about the sermons and what we learned and all that stuff and just dug really deep. And watching these kids worship, and there were 160 baptisms, and it was so good. Such a life-changing experience. It was only 3 days, but I swear, like, the Lord spoke through so many different people. I came back a completely different person. And then Love Week, which I just did my last Love Week event today, which is July 28th. And basically, Love Week, again, an Elevation Church thing, which every year there's a week. It's like the last week of July, and this is where we really hone in on outreach and doing things for the community. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I hosted a couple Love Week events. So the ones I hosted were making summer packages for the homeless. So we had like reusable water bottles, sunscreen, all of that stuff. We also served a meal to veterans, and then I just attended some Love Week events that I wasn't hosting. Like this morning, I painted the veterans' house, like the shelter, the outside. I helped repaint it, and I also helped make more summer kits, again, for people in need, with like sunscreen, toothpaste, a brush, all of that stuff. And we do have outreach year round, but Love Week is just a week where we like super duper encourage people to do things. And I love Love Week. It's my favorite week of the year. And besides Christmas. But anyways, moving on. Healthy habits I started in July, and I did start quite a few healthy habits because I have been more with the Lord recently. In the month of July, my pastor and I started this like 3-month thing to really like hone in on my leadership skills and get me as obedient as possible so I can lead, and I love that. I was the one who actually said that I wanted to work more on obedience and you want to hone in on my leadership skills, and so that's why I hosted a couple of Love Week events. But I am just so happy about all these healthy habits that I started, because the more time that I spend with God, the like better your life gets. Who knew? Not like it's in the Bible like 100,000 times. So I started keeping a diary / a mood tracker. I will put the app right here. I think it's called Diario or Dailyo or something like that. And I just write just like a little paragraph about my day, nothing too specific. And I put my mood so I can track that and make sure that everything's good, or see if my mood is declining, how I can fix that, just keep an eye on myself. And then it also makes it easier on like my therapist and stuff when I'm trying to like explain things. That way I just have it right here, because I have really bad memory. Like I see my therapist once a week and I'll forget everything that happened. Like I'll be like, what happened yesterday? I don't know. She don't know. We don't know. And I started going digital with my planning. So basically that makes it really easy for me. So I have everything I need on my iPad. Like I have my Google Calendar. Well, that's also on my phone because I need the notifications. I have my weekly planner. I have my diary. I have just basically everything I need productivity wise on my iPad, and that also allows me to use way less paper. I already had this journal, so that's why I wrote down my August plans in it so I can still use it. But yeah, I'm just really happy about that. I started being very intentional with my reading time, and I spent a decent amount of time reading. I read a whole book. I am like halfway through 2 other books, and I'm really happy about this. But I've had a healthier way of reading to where I don't feel this immense pressure to read as much as I can, as fast as I can, because I personally like reading slow. I naturally have a like fast reading pace, but I just like reading slow with reading so I can really enjoy it, because I can comprehend it either way, but just like soaking it in, savoring it. I kind of touched on this next healthy habit that I started in July already, but I have been having very intentional time with Yahweh, which is just God's name, like the Christian God's name. Well, not just, but you know what I mean. And I have been loving it. I've been really intentional with my morning quiet time with him, and I can feel when I haven't had it. Like there have been a couple days to where I didn't do it in the morning, so I did it at night, and there was just a big difference throughout my day, and I was not having it. I was not having it. I love my time with Yahweh, and just talking to him, being personable, just really focusing on our relationship and allowing him to teach me at the same time. So yes, I am spending intentional time with him and growing that friendship and that father-daughter relationship, but I am also allowing him to be my teacher and my rabbi, because that's what Jesus was. He was a rabbi. And I've been loving it. It's 10 out of 10 the best thing I've started doing this month. I have been making teas every single day. I make English breakfast tea with a little bit of sugar just because I love it, and it's kind of like my alternative to morning coffee, because coffee is not great for anxiety, and also I'm just more of a tea person, to be completely honest. So that's what I drink in the morning. I also drink turmeric tea with a little bit of lemon and a teaspoon of honey. So the turmeric tea is for my joints because I do have chronic pain. And I put the lemon in there for digestion and local honey for allergies, to help out with my allergies. And I have seen a decent difference. Like I'm in pain right now. I haven't had my turmeric tea yet. Not that it has like that kind of effect, but I have seen a difference just overall in my body and how I'm feeling in my health. Like I said, I still have pain, but I just like being intentional and knowing that I'm doing this for my body and no other purpose but to take care of this gift that God has given me. A morning routine. Your girl has been sticking to a morning routine. I love routines so much. Like I just thrive when I have a routine, and so I recreated a new morning routine that I can stick to myself and just to get ready for the day. And part of that is my quiet time. That's actually my first step in my routine. My morning routine is wake up, immediately spend time with Yahweh. So that is with reading my Bible. I'm reading through one chapter of Isaiah every day, one chapter of Genesis, and I'm going through the first 5 app from the Proverbs 31 ministries. But sometimes I do that at night, that part. And then I pray over my Bible study before I do it. And after that, I will do yoga for like 5 to 15 minutes. 5, 10, 15 minutes is one of those. It depends, to be honest. I have to work myself up to doing more than that. And then after yoga, I will meditate on the Lord's Word. I use the Abide app. And then I will make my teas and just chill out watching YouTube and just drinking my teas. And that is my whole morning routine. And I just love it so much. And this is a morning routine I can continue to use when school starts. And I'm really loving getting to put it into practice well before school starts. So that way I already have it in place. And even if I get stressed, it's my time, especially my Yahweh time. My favorite time. I'm sipping off this Yahweh time. 2 more healthy habits that I started in July. I started practicing gratitude every night. I'll go get my gratitude journal. Actually, I'll show you my gratitude journal more in depth a little later when I show you my new favorites. And basically, I just do that every night before my nightly Yahweh time, because I have kind of recently started more often than not having Actually, I don't know, maybe like 50-50, having Yahweh time in the morning and at night, just because like he's addicting. And so I will do the gratitude journal right before, and it just puts me in such a much better mood, especially if my day has not been great. And then last thing, meditating is a new habit that I have started, and I am in love with it. So I will meditate for 15 minutes every day, like I said, as part of my morning routine after my yoga. And it just puts me in the right mindset, in the right headspace to focus my things on things above, which are eternal, and not things down here, which will eventually perish. And I choose whichever one I need. So if I feel like I'm struggling with temptation, I'll choose one on temptation. If I'm struggling with anxiety, I'll choose one on anxiety. If I just want to think about the Lord's blessings, I'll choose one of those. And way to get my thoughts in order. I love it. Now for my monthly favorites, which I am super excited about. Well, these are my new favorites. So this is my new Bible that I got recently, and it's the Ultimate Bible for Girls. Yes, it is probably intended for girls younger than I, but I do not care because it has a review of every book of the Bible. It'll tell you who wrote it, when it was written, where it takes place, cool characters you'll meet, bad guys to watch out for, what the point is, how to connect, and just like a summary of it. It also has portions like, oh, I get it, and it'll further explain points in the Bible that may be a bit confusing. It asks you questions, and depending on what your answer was, it points you to that scripture. And it says treasure this for key verses that you might want to memorize, and I just love that so much. I've been really using this Bible, that paired with the Bible Project. I have been like really deepening my Bible time and my understanding, so I really love that. Another new favorite that I have is my gratitude journal that I was mentioning earlier. I absolutely love it. So basically every day it has, today I am grateful for, well, first of all, it has a Bible verse, and then it says, today I'm grateful for blah, blah, blah. Kindness I shared today. I need to let go of this, blah, blah, blah. I learned this today. A prayer on my heart today, and my highlights of the day. So I go out of order simply because I prefer to end things on a high note. So what I'll usually do is, first, I need to let go of this. Then I learned this today. And then kindness I shared today, prayer on my heart today can be interchangeable. And then I go for today I'm grateful for, and then highlights of my day. So that way, even if I had a really rough day, I'm like, oh, at least it wasn't all bad. So I love that. Another new favorite of mine would be the company that I got this from. And it says, Give Me Jesus. And I am in love with that. And it's basically the Daily Grace Co. And I love their company so much. Like, they have so many good things. Okay, sorry I had to change the angle, but the sun was like messing with me for some reason. I love the company that this came from, which is the Daily Grace Co. And I love them. They have a podcast, which I'll get into in a minute. They have so many good resources. Like, I also bought this study from them and a few other things. I'll probably do like a whole haul of things that I bought recently, maybe just from them. But it's called The Attributes of God, and I plan on doing that with my e-group this fall, and you can just learn about who God is. It's beautiful, it's floppy, and I love it. So now to talk about the Daily Grace Co. podcast. They have so much wisdom. Right now it's Joanna and Stephanie that do the podcast, but I think there may have been different people before them. And they just have so much wisdom. You can tell that they know the Bible. They know the context. They know the Hebrew translations. And I've just learned so much, and I've been convicted, which is always a good thing. And I cannot say enough great things about this podcast. So a couple of my favorite podcast episodes are What is God's Will for Your Life? The Beauty of Daily Dependence, Complaining, Godly Grief, or Crossing the Line. They had an episode on sex, shame, and brokenness, and that one was really good. I just finished The Secret to Contentment in Every Circumstance, and I'm currently listening to How to Handle Stress. And I And I also really, really loved Obedience Over Outcome. So look for those specific episodes and just honestly listen to every episode of the podcast. Like, what else would you be doing? And so another new favorite of mine would be my new favorite book. The book that I read this month was The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry. And I talked about this book a little more in depth, I think, in my slow down video, which was heavily inspired by this. This is by John Mark Comer, and I'm currently reading another book by him called God Has a Name. And this book is about slowing down Jesus's way. He greatly uses Jesus as our example of how we're supposed to live and how to slow down, because our bodies were never meant to be rushed all the time. Our souls and our spirits were never meant to be rushed all of the time. And so it really goes into God's intent, and it also goes into the Sabbath, and I cannot recommend it enough. Not enough. I loved every single page. I just really enjoyed reading this book, and it was like the first nonfiction book that I've actually been able to finish, and I finished it quickly because the other two books that I'm reading I started before this one. Still not done, but I love this book. 5 out of 5 stars. Okay, my favorite sermon from this month was a sermon on limits, and it was by Tim. I'll have it over here, but it was during the Youth X events, and it was amazing. It talked about how we have to have limits and what that is freedom, and I can't even explain what this sermon was about, but so much wisdom. I had never heard Tim preach before. I know he preached in place of our regular Pastor Stephen for Elevation a couple months ago, but I wasn't at church then, and wow, everybody needs this sermon. Like, I'm an adult and he meant for kids, and I was just like, notes. I I love that sermon so much. I'll probably watch it again, to be honest. Okay, favorite videos are monthly reset videos. As I said, I've been watching Selena Trevino's video like over and over, and also her 9 to 5 workday videos. I just really like her channel, and also Christian family YouTube videos, specifically Milena Shishiari. I love her family's night routine about her and her husband getting their 2 toddlers ready for bed while she's like 39 weeks pregnant. I think she's like 40 weeks pregnant right now with her last video, and I just love the whole like Christian family vibes and like raising godly kingdom kids, and I just, it's so cute, and I love it so much for them. Now, after like 20 minutes of reviewing July, I will now get into my August goals. So some things that will change in August are a lack of transportation. My car broke down a couple weeks ago, and I've been using a friend's car. But now that my internship is about to end, which is another change, the internship I was doing ends on Friday, then I shouldn't really need that transportation. So hopefully I just will be fine. So I'll have like literally nothing to do for the first couple weeks until school. My internship is ending. I don't really have transportation to go anywhere unless I want to like take the bus. My classes will be starting, and so that means my job will be starting back too, because I am a writing tutor at my university and I love my job. Hopefully I can switch it to completely online this semester, just because I found that I really like working from home. Those are some changes, and I'll get into another change a little later because it's one of my goals in here. So, to my August goals. My first goal is to find a school-work Sabbath balance. And if you don't know much about the Sabbath, it's like a day of rest. So basically, I'm trying to find a school-work-rest balance, which I have never been really good at, but I am trying to be really intentional about my rest and my stress and my mental health for the first time in forever. So I am trying to do that. So I'm only taking 5 classes this upcoming semester. I am only working 1 job this semester, which is my writing tutor job, which I'll probably work like only 8 hours a week, and then Sabbath every Saturday, like maybe Friday night to Saturday night, but regardless, I will be doing that. And which goes into my next goal, which is to actively practice the Sabbath and to be more intentional about it. because I never really understood the Sabbath until recently. I thought it was just a day that we weren't supposed to work, but now that I know, it's like it is rest, but it's rest and worship. So I'm going to try to do that. And I also recently learned that the Sabbath was originally on Saturday because it is the last day of the week, and that was when the Lord rested. So I will do my best to actively practice the Sabbath, and I just know that my peace will be magnified, multiplied, all of those things, just because I'm taking intentional time for the Lord that He told me to, just to rest. Goal number 3 of this month is to finish the book Integrity, which I've now been reading for a while. I'm on page 125, so I have this much to go, which I'm like rounding up to halfway there. And this is a book that my pastor gave to me to read for this like 3-month plan. And I have learned a lot from it, but I'm not getting through it as quickly as I was getting through the Ruthless Elimination of Hurry. I'm trying to just get like pockets of it, like just read it more often and not try to do big chunks, because I don't really do that for this book, read big chunks at a time. But I will hopefully finish it this month. Next, I want to do my physical therapy exercises regularly. So I've gone to physical therapy like 4 times for my hips and my knees, and I really want to do those exercises consistently. A, so I don't go back. B, so I feel better. And C, because it's like a whole leg workout. Like they gave me so many exercises to do. Like I'm not doing 3 sets of all of that. Like it literally would take an hour and a half just on my legs. I'm not doing that much, but I will do enough to keep my body healthy, hopefully. And just doing that regularly would really help with my body and avoid me having unnecessary pain, because I will always have pain, but I don't want to have unnecessary pain. My next goal is to clean something most days. And by clean something, I mean literally anything. If I just wash the dishes, check. If I clean off my desk, check. If I sweep one area, check. Because I hate cleaning so much. I despise it, and it despises me. Okay, we both hate each other, and I'm not the best at it either, but my kitten, love him to death. This space right here deserves a clean space, so I will give it to you, right? He's turning 1 next month, by the way. But yeah, so I need a clean space, and also like my mental health, my drive, and also just because it feels good, and that's the way things are supposed to be. Like it's not supposed to be dirty all the time. And then cluttered space, cluttered mind, as we all know. So I just want to ease myself into being a cleaner person, because like I can't do it all at once or I'll get burnt out. So I just want to clean something every day. Next is to take my medicine consistently, for obvious reasons, because I have medicine that needs to stay in my system or it will be ineffective or have adverse effects. Actually, it won't be ineffective. So I really need to take that consistently, and I've been doing an okay job as of like the past week. I've been doing a pretty good job actually, but I really need to just make that like a monthly goal, like every month. My next goal is to start up my e-group again. And basically an e-group is like a Bible study for our church, and I lead Bible studies here at my college weekly, and we had paused for the summer, but we will be starting back. I'm going to start us back on the 2nd week of school, so that way we all have time to like settle in on the 1st week of school, and then the 2nd week of school we can hit the ground running. So for studies, we will be going through the attributes of God, because what I want to do for our group is I want to go through who is God, who is Jesus, and who are we. And by who are we, I don't mean like self-discovery or anything like that. I mean, who does the Bible say that we are in Christ? And then you have like the whole thing. Like I just think knowing those 3 beings and people, like it's what you need to know. Like it's just, it's so amazing actually. I'm so glad that I had that idea, to be honest. So I will be starting the e-group again. it's good to have at least one goal that you know for absolute certain that you will do, because honestly, God has called me to lead this Bible study. I'm doing it. I'm absolutely doing it. I did it last year. I'll do it this year. And yeah, so it's good to have at least one thing on your list that you know you're going to do. I didn't even really need to put it on there. Anyways, I want to post one YouTube video every week. Now that doesn't sound like a lot, but usually if I get stressed and overwhelmed, YouTube is one of the first things to go. I've been pretty consistent for the past couple of weeks since I've rebranded my channel into more of a faith-based channel. But I do just really want to just stay consistent with it, because I think that is a lot of what's hindered my growth so far, is that I'm not consistent. I mean, yeah, I don't have a lot of fancy supplies, but honestly, it's not all that. It's not all because of that. We're getting close to the end of the list, and one of my goals is to prioritize healing, because I made a decision, which was a healthy decision. Nonetheless, I found a quote the other day, and I'm actually going to make that my screensaver. It says, "It's okay to be sad after making the right decision." And basically that's how I'm about to be, because I made a decision about a certain relationship and it hurts just a little bit, a little more than a little bit. But yeah, so I'm going to prioritize healing, because honestly, I need it, and I need a healed heart in order to love others to full capacity. I mean, I can still love others with the best of them, but I just need healing. My second to last goal for the month of August would be to spend less than $200 eating out. You will not believe how much money I spend eating out to have no money. It's like, how are you a broke college student and you're spending all this money on eating out? Like, that's the math ain't mathin'. Something's not making sense. So I'm about to start making it make sense, because it's literally ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And so I want to spend less. And part of it is because over the summer, I am year-round on campus. Over the summer, there are no meal plans. So that is part of why I've been spending more on eating out, because I don't like cooking. Well, I like cooking with people, but if I'm just cooking for myself, by myself, I'm like, which I need to get better about. But I don't need to right now, because in the fall, we're about to have meal plans again. So it should greatly decrease anyway. So I just want to make sure to have that in the back of my mind. And honestly, I've been reading this book called Simple Money, Rich Life, which I could go and get it, but I'm only going to talk about it for a second. And by Bob Leutich, something like that. And it's really good. And basically he said the goal isn't to just spend less money, it's to spend less money on things you like so you can spend more money on things you love. And I like eating out, but I don't like it enough to prioritize it. I love Daily Grace clothes stuff, and I love clothes. So I spend more time like prioritizing those things. Actually, not even really close, would I say. I particularly am prioritizing in this moment, but since reading that line in the book, I have been eating out significantly less, or at least paying for it significantly less. And my last goal for the month of August is to be consistent with my study times. So basically, I am going to try having set study times for, obviously, time to study for my classes and my work, so that way I'm not doing it at night, because me trying to be productive at night just never works. I am a morning person through and through. The later at night it gets, the less I'm going to do, because the more tired I will get, and I just feel lazy at night. That's my time to chill. But I do need set study time, so that way I can stay on, not just on top of my work, but hopefully I can get it turned in early consistently. I can just know everything to the best of my ability, because like, even if I don't need to study, having that study time to where I study anyways, that's what's gonna get me that extra couple percent on like my tests and quizzes and things like that. Okay, all right, so again, the lighting kind of changed. Sorry about that, but thank you so much if you made it this long in the video. I don't know if I've ever made a video this long that's just talking, but I really enjoyed it. I love planning so much, and hopefully you also love planning, or I can make you love planning, something like that. And just thank you so much for being here. If you like this video, would you please give a like, subscribe, and comment down below some of your goals for the month of August. I'm really, really interested in hearing what you guys' goals are, because oh gosh, I love people goal setting and just trying to be the best versions of themselves. I'm literally addicted to that type of stuff. If you know me, you know that. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next week. Bye.